Hey everyone. So I wanted to talk today about energy beings, entities, etc., whatever you want to call them. And these are just beings that don't have a body, basically. That's the most simple way to put it. So the way that this came up for me was actually I got it, or somebody went to my website and emailed me directly attacking me for doing psychic work, etc., etc. And when I was meditating, I was noticing this energy coming in and trying to affect me. And I picked up on it, I was tuning into it, and I realized it wasn't a human energy. And so it had like this snake like energy to it, and I realized that this is not human, and there's something kind of inhumane about it, and it's like this vicious kind of snake-like energy. And this is not to say that snakes are evil or that reptiles are evil. That's not true. But there is a level of viciousness that can come with that energy. And this is, again, an energy being. This is not literally a snake. This is more like an energetic being that has the energy of that. And sometimes they can look like that. But anyways, there's this vicious energy associated with that type of energy being, and there's all different types of energy beings. And this was an energy being affecting a person who was being controlled by this energy being on some level. And so how this works is they project their energy into your auric field, and then they kind of control you like that. Similarly to how your auric field is filled with your energy, ideally, hopefully. I guarantee it's not 100% your energy, because there's always an energy exchange, but the idea is that your energy field is mostly your energy, and whatever that energy is dictates your reality on some level, similarly to how the wiring in your brain dictates your reality. You could say your energy field or your aura affects your brain, or has an effect of manifesting a reality within your physical body. And same with your physical body, because when your physical body gets injured, or you eat healthier or you eat unhealthier, it affects your auric field too. So it's not about one before the other, like was the chicken or the egg, if that came first. It's not like that. It's literally both ways. So your auric field manifests your body manifests your auric field, both ways, simultaneously. So by being able to project energy into someone's auric field, you can kind of control them on some level. And energy beings do this all the time. They project, they have a certain energy, which is what they are, and that energy gets into your energy field, and you can kind of take on their characteristics on some level. It's like they become you without you realizing that they are actually you. In some sense, you could say that they are controlling your body, or that they're in your body more than you are, because some part of your spirit gets kicked out to make room for their energy, that then fills in that gap and starts tinkering with things. And so this may sound like really horrible and terrifying, but keep in mind this is normal, and normal, I guess you could say, but it's what happens to an empath when an empath walks down the street. In fact, I would go further than that and say this happens to everyone. The only example I can think of that may be an exception, potentially, is a sociopath. But even them, I'm still not sure about that. They might actually be picking up energy, having energy exchanges with people still. I don't know. But regardless, on some sense, everyone is empathic. You know, and so everyone on some level is an empath. And people like to say you are or you aren't. It's similar to being an artist. It's like some people are like, I'm an artist, and some people are like, everyone's an artist. Well, both are true. Like, everyone is empathic. Everyone is an empath on some level. Some people identify as being an empath and others don't. But regardless, everyone has an empathic ability to basically feel empathy, which is taking on other people's energy, which means that their energy is affecting your auric field. And so that's the same thing that's happening with these energy beings. It's just that they've kind of hijacked it and used that for their own benefit. And generally the purpose of doing so is because you have a body and they don't, and they want control over the body because the body can kind of affect the auric field, and so the body can kind of generate energy, and so they feed off of that energy. And they also can manipulate the frequency that you are at, which affects the environment and creates the right vibrational frequency environment that they want to be in for themselves. And so there's a lot of manipulation going on here. One thing that I've just recently had a epiphany on actually is programming, and how even The Simpsons programmed me, and I just randomly, it just came to me this morning how something as simple as the cartoon The Simpsons, just with the different roles that, like the different family roles that are shown there, and you could say gender roles, etc., social roles, all roles. Basically, seeing something like that, you tend to identify with one or another, and that influences your behavior. And even if you don't realize it on a subconscious level, when you see a certain behavior over and over, you become more and more likely to imitate that behavior. And also, when it's within a certain role, you tend to think that that is normal and that's what other people are going to expect of you. And so you kind of narrow your focus of behavior, like before you're like, oh, I have all this behavior, I can do all these different things, but then when you see something like that over and over, you kind of are like, okay, well, that's more like my range, like a smaller range of behavior, to be more close to that, to be kind of more what's expected. This is usually on a subconscious level that people don't even realize they're doing. I've talked about this before in relation to the porn industry and how this is energy beings affecting your sexual energy and using your sexual energy, basically hijacking your sexuality. And I'll post those videos below this video if you want to check that out. Also, so what I'm trying to get to here is that society programs people, and these energy beings use that, and on some level they influence the influencers. So the people who create the shows, the media, the actors, the people who write the scripts, the people who write the lyrics to the songs that the pop stars sing, those are being manipulated by energy beings. And even just at a bigger macro level, like everyone, the frequency of the earth, the human consciousness is, being affected by this. And so everyone on some level is acting this out on the earth, because we're all sharing the frequency of the earth that's being manipulated. So, and there's negatives and positives, because there are also guides, which are also a different type of being. But keep in mind, a guide can also be the wrong guide, just like you can have friends and you can have the wrong friends. You can be hanging out with the wrong friends. And so it's not so black and white as there's like these pure evil beings and then there's these guides. It's kind of all of the above, and just like there's good people and bad people and everything in between, and sometimes good people do bad things and sometimes bad people do good things. So it's not as cut and dry. So people like to kind of get mixed up with these categories of what things are, and it's good to remember that it's much more fluid than like evil entities and healing guides, because sure, there are those, but sometimes an evil entity can actually be helpful to you sometimes, and sometimes a guide can actually not be in alignment with where you want to go, because they have their own ideas of what's good for you. So anyways, I do clear these beings out for people in my readings, so if you have the sense that you may need assistance clearing some of this out, you can always contact me. I always clear these beings out for myself, so don't think that anyone is not being affected by these beings, because I have to sit and clear these beings out. That's why I meditate every single day, to keep my auric field cleared out so that I can give readings. In fact, I meditate an hour before every reading, because I want to make sure that I'm not being influenced by either these energy beings or by other people's energy. This could just be like friends or family members or co-workers or people you walk past on the street. So anyways, you can learn to meditate on your own as well, and just become aware of the way that you are, and be honest with your behaviors. And sometimes you can notice how you've been affected by other people energetically, and that's basically the same thing that's going on with these energy beings. However, if you do need assistance, you can always find my website, which I will post below this video, and you can see if a reading is what you need or not. I do look at energy beings usually in readings. It usually comes up naturally, but if you specifically want me to look at something like that, you can just let me know at the beginning of a reading. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So thanks for watching and have a great day.